Yeah, pulchella. Now this belongs to the flower. Okay. If you remember, we have discussed already. Asteraceae family or Composita family has a head type of inflorescence. So you can easily see here there are two types of flowers. If you remember, this flower belongs to Asteraceae, and Asteraceae is racemose head, or what you called as the capitula. So here you can see it's a racemose head or capitula type of flower. This is not a flower, it's an inflorescence, and these small structures which you see, they all are florets. So now you can see in this live example that these flowers are different from these flowers. It is not like in the case of marigold or genda where all flowers are same. Here the central flowers are different and the border flowers are different. So the central flowers, that's why you call it as heterogamous. I found in the assignment students mentioning it as heterogeneous. Please don't mention heterogeneous. It is heterogamous. And then there are two types of, that mean, florets present here. Outer florets are called as disc florets, and these the outer florets are called as the ray florets, and the central florets are called as the disc florets. Now disc florets will be generally hermaphrodites, so they are the one which form seeds. If you have ever seen sunflower blooming and sunflower developing into seed, you will find seeds never develop on the corners, seed will develop in the center, because the central flowers are hermaphrodites, or you better say central florets are hermaphrodite, and because they are present in the center, they are called as disc. And the corner one are called as the ray florets. Ray florets are generally neutral, or otherwise they would be female, so they will not help in the process of seed formation, less chances, because they are either female, but in the maximum cases these are neutral flowers because they attract the pollinators, biotic pollinators, for the process of pollination. If you remember the notes I have covered before, I told you in those classes that there will be involucres present at the bottom portion. So these are green. These are the green structures which are present here. You can see many of them. They are protective in nature. When the flower was in a closed condition, or you can say the inflorescence was in a closed condition, these structures provide physical protection to the florets inside. So this flower is done. Now it is called in normal language as the blanket flowers. Now the next one is Phoeniculum vulgare. The Phoeniculum vulgare, I have already covered this also in the classes. It is the, where is the flower gone? Yes. Phoeniculum vulgare is the saunf, or what you called in English as fennel, and its family is Apiaceae, or its family is Umbelliferae. Now in this family you will find compound umbels are there. So this you would have seen in villages. Commonly people grow fennel at home or in the villages. So these are decompound leaves. If you remember, we have covered this topic in the leaf already. Decompound leaves is a characteristic of Apiaceae family or Umbelliferae family. So you can see here now. Okay, let's revise from there and then you will understand better. What was the characteristic of compound umbel? This is the shape. So now you can compare this. It's the exactly same arrangement, that there will be branches coming from the tip, and these branches will carry flowers in the shape of umbrella. So same structure is visible here. You can see one branch, and this branch also has similar type of flowers on the top. So this is the characteristic of compound umbel is a characteristic of Apiaceae family. I hope this one is clear to you. In the next manner we have Combretum indicum. Combretum indicum is an Indian plant, also called as Rangoon creeper, also called as Madhu Malati in Hindi. Now here the inflorescence is quite different. It is called as drooping spike. It is Combretaceae family. You can easily see the leaves are opposite, and then they are making only two rows. You can easily see, so they are superposed and opposite leaves. Now you can see the flowers, inflorescences are developing from the axil. This is the axil. These are the two leaves. The axil is here, axil is here. So inflorescences are developing from the axil, so you can call them as axillary type of inflorescence according to origin. So you can see one inflorescence is coming from here. Then in the same manner one is coming from here, and when you see the flowers you will find, now this is an example of sessile flowers. Let me pluck one flower just to show you. So this is a complete one flower. Remember, this flower will develop as white flowers, slowly changing into pink shade by next day, then changing into darker color, finally red color, so it changes colors. This whole thing is not the pedicel, please remember, this is the female portion, or you can say sepals are there. So please remember, this flower is an example of sessile flower. And if you see the flower carefully, the bottom of the flower is the ovary. This portion carries the ovary. This is whole sepal, and then we have the petals. And please remember, this is an exceptional plant where even stamens attach to sepals. So this is the spike. Now remember, this spike is bending down, so that's why it is drooping type of spikes present in the Combretum indicum plants. This would be there in your area a lot in sectors also. I hope this flower is also clear to you. Now the next one is Ficus bengalensis, which I have already covered few minutes back regarding Hypanthodium. So we all know about this, and we know these round things developing here. So these are which will develop later into fig or anjeer. There would be a small hole at the top from where insects enter inside, and then they perform pollination inside and seeds are born.